Creator, I'm gonna say 3-2. I think it's gonna be close
Ooh.
because Creator has just been playing a very reactive, more defensive style, which worked really well when he was up against Special, who is a very aggressive player. Cure, similarly, he likes to be super aggressive. I still think Cure will just keep going at it until he finds a way to break Creator, but I think it will be close.
So, am I crazy? Did you not just first say that you think Cure is gonna win, and then when I said for the score, you said Creator 3-2? Like,
did I say that, or
did that just happen? Am I? I don't know.
Well, I still think Creator is gonna take it just because Cure, you know, he's gonna win. And for that reason, I believe it's gonna be Creator 3-2, and that is why Cure. And then from there, I think it's gonna be Creator 3-2, and then from there, Cure is gonna win the entire thing.
What are you saying? My brain is melting.
The bottom right-hand corner of the map. Starting all the way to the bottom right-hand corner, we have the red Protoss player coming out from the land of Korea. He is going to be representing Team NV. We have Creator.
Nonsense. Sporting in the top left-hand corner of Romanticide Daily, we have the South Korean Terran, one of, if not the best Terran out there in the land of Korea, representing Dragon Phoenix Gaming, DPG. It is Cure.
I'm pointing out earlier, like, look at that. You thought you didn't know how to cast anymore, but mate. And then I pull off this.
Nonsense, mate, nonsense. Meanwhile, yo, Cure really wants to deny this probe, mate. He really wants a CC. Oh.
He does. He's been pulling 2 SCVs for it. Not the most efficient, but we'll get in the end. Let's go Marine first. Is he going to skip on Reapers? We've seen a lot of Terran players do this recently in TvP.
That we have. A lot of Terran players are like, you know what, the Reaper does nothing for me unless it's proxied. So we are going for that Marine first here. A little bit more of a greedy opener. It's one of those things where you do give up your initial scouting information to you know, preserve your gas.
Indeed, you do. But when you're up against somebody who you're very familiar with, such as Creator from the side of Cure, he knows he can't afford to take that risk. Creator is unlikely to be pulling off any cheeses.
This is one of those openers where, I mean, you can confirm or deny, where it's one of those things where this is something that a lot of pros have been doing, but I feel like if you were to like ladder, it just feels wrong.
Oh, absolutely not. Yeah, you cannot pull this off in the ladder. You have to be safe. You don't know who you're up against.
It's like the 3cc before Starport in TVZ, you know? It's like, it happens so just doesn't feel really like you just feel uneasy doing it. Oh my god. But yeah, Cure cutting corners a little bit, and it looks like, oh, he wants to go for a big boy Widowmine drop.
Oh my. We're getting an armory behind us. I hope we do. But probably not, and to be fair, Creator is already getting a robo facility out, so Observer should be off the table. I say that as he prioritizes a warp piston.
Oh yeah, mate, we got 3 gateways on the way on top of the 1 gateway that's done. We are going back to the old school 4 gate blink stalkers. Oh boy, he's gonna have a lot of stalkers to work with. What's important is that Cure needs to not just deal damage with this drop, but also scout what is coming his way.
And is he gonna do so? He's gonna miss that warp prism. Thankfully for Creator, and Observer is on the way. Cure is waiting a little bit, wants to find the most perfect angle possible. There's already stalkers here to beat that! He's gonna take out a medevac, and one of the Widowmine, no, actually not quite yet. But still, he's gonna be able to deal with the Widowmines, even without the Observer out just yet. Cure gets no information from this, and he gets nothing.
Yeah,
no
I mean,
damage.
He did see the robo, I guess, and maybe that's a bit of a tell, but he did not see the additional gateways in the main base. That war prism is across the map, but Cure, he is not stopping with the aggression. We have another drop coming across.
Yeah, this time, that side follow-up, Cyclone with the Marines. He will be able to scout the tech Creator's going for finally, but is it going to be too late? We'll see.
We shall see. Meanwhile, Creator, he is spreading out all across the map. There's nothing really here at home. There's another pylon on the way. This drop, yo, there's a lot of potential with it.
It really is. Spot a pylon, as you said, but no reinforcements at all. And now,
Yeah.
Creator has to make a choice. So we're warping across the map or back home. Just gotta warp in back home.
Yeah, we could end up in a weird base trade scenario because you know what? This drop is dealing a lot of damage to Probe so far. Again, there's nothing at home to defend, and Creator's committed. He's going to blink up into the main base.
But this time, for Cure, there's plenty of defenses. 2 tanks, a bunker. Maybe the Liberator if you wanted to. Thankfully, there's nothing really filling up that bunker yet.
Oh, God.
I'm actually juggling a couple of these Stalkers when Blink is off cooldown.
Yeah, exactly, and it looks like the boys are being pulled. Both tanks were focused down. We see another massive warp in here from this War Prism. The Stalker's still continuing to deal so much damage. It looks like, oh my god, the Liberator.
Trying to sandwich this. The Liberator does get taken out. Zelt's being very distracted by the SCVs. The Marines are still putting in some damage. Things are starting to fall, though. Still, SCVs go down. Probes, not as much, but just like that, they're on about even workers, huh? And
yeah.
Cure with a slight advantage thanks to Mule, so.
He does have that slight advantage. What I will say is that this position is a little bit less defensive, right? There's only 1 tank now. There are no bunkers, so this could still snowball.
Really could.
Cure doesn't see
at the moment, but yeah, Cure doesn't see it. The 2 tanks not quite in position. He sees the Observer. He wants to take it out once he has a scan available, but kind of least of his concerns right now.
Yeah, exactly. The tank has to reposition. It does on siege, and now it's vulnerable. Oh my god. Okay. Creator, he doesn't go for it.
Yeah, being a bit more defensive here, being a bit safer.
Oh, nice pickoff.
And he's really committed here, and I'm not sure if he should be.
Oh god, yeah, exactly. The boys are being pulled. Meanwhile, we see an aggressive blink forward. Both tanks are going to be taken out, but they do deal a decent amount of damage. But there are still so many more Stalkers and another warping in the face of Cure.
Yeah, not quite enough anti-air to deal with that Warp Prism. Only a couple of Marines. Is Creator finally going to be able to snowball from here? It looks possible, but is it going to be likely? He's got plenty of minerals, not a lot of gas, cannot warp in too many more Stalkers.
Exactly. He is forced all the way back. He did snipe a he did snipe the medevac and 12 more SCVs. Like you were talking about before, the working count was even. Now Creator is ahead.
By a little bit. Finally getting a 3rd base, so Creator not all in anymore. Still trying to get some damage done, though, while he can get away with it. Again, there's just barely any anti-air.
Yeah, and again, like oh my god, the move command. Oh, a Stalker does go down. I was about to say that with Blink and a War Prism, like we shouldn't see Creator lose too many Stalkers, but slips up a little bit there.
Yeah, I guess you can do a lot more as the Terran player once Stim finishes up, though. That's exactly what he was looking to do. Creator's being so annoying.
Exactly. What's also more annoying than this is the Adepts that warped in. Okay, never mind. There are Marines here to deal with them. The Adepts don't get into the mineral line. They only get 2 SCVs.
But it does distract the army of Cure for a little bit. Those medevacs are basically out of energy. And Cure's looking to push. You know, Stim is finished up. +1 is finished up. He lost so many tanks and so much bio, though.
That he did, and these Stalkers are still in the main base of Cure. Does he turn around? No, he does not. He is committing to this attack. And Creator, what does he have at home to defend? He has a handful of Stalkers, an Immortal. There's no shield battery. There's no overcharge available here at this 3rd base, so maybe Cure can make something happen. Also, if he wanted to, he could try and even drop into the main.
Yeah, plenty of opportunities available, and it looks like that's the idea. To distract some of the army in the 3rd base location with his bio. Crazy gonna call his bluff, though.
Yeah, exactly. Oh my god, he blinks straight into the main base. The double drop does go into the main. There are Stalkers to respond, but honestly, not that many, and there are plenty of Marauders.
GG is called. Cure takes game number 1. Very shaky from both sides, but, you know.
That was very close.
In the end, yeah. It really was. Like, a couple more volleys from Stalkers as Creator was in the main base could have snowballed in his favor, but Cure, he's a spring.
Uh-huh. Are you gonna elaborate on that, or are you?
I thought you might want to.
He's just a spring, mate. What more is there to say?
I thought you might want to. You compress him on two bases that long, he bounces back.
Let's say he's a spring. You know, you can sleep on him, and he gives you a bed to be on, right? Like he's
You can push him downstairs, and it'll like go down one end and then the other.
That's a slinky, mate. That's a slinky. That is not a spring. That is not a spring at all. Okay, slinkies don't bounce.
What?
Have you never owned a slinky before?
It's like a spring. It's like a big spring.
No, it's not. It's not. It doesn't bounce. That's not what it does.
What?
What?
But they do if you like wiggle it.
What? It doesn't bounce. That's not what it does. Like it goes downstairs, but it doesn't bounce. It's not like a ball.
What? But a spring isn't a ball.
It's not.
Oh, I wanted a ball with a spring inside, though. As we continue our series here on 2000 Atmospheres, LE. An underwater map when every dead debris floats, but they all float on. That's a song from the 2000s, I think. Bottom left-hand corner map, starting all the way to bottom left-hand corner. Red Protoss player coming out from the land of Korea, representing Team NV. He is Creator.
And spawning in the top right-hand corner of 2000 Atmospheres LE, we have the Korean Terran player who is up in this series after a very close game number 1. It is Cure, representing Team DPG.
I feel like that the past couple of ESL Asias have just been DPG Bowl. Zest versus Cure each and every time.
Oh yeah, and that could happen again. I mean, if you want to tune into a PvP, then Pig, as soon as Zest finishes up with Percival, which, I mean, I love Percival, but
he's
Zest
right now.
There you go. If you want to tune into that upper semifinals, then that is being covered by Pig, and I believe another English caster. I'm not too sure who, maybe Renegade X. So you can tune into that if you so wish.
That you can. Fortunately, we're not quite able to catch much of Hero yet, but yeah, maybe in the finals.
Yeah, it's one of those things where Hero's been back for like over a month, and every single ESL Americas, I'm like, one day I'll cast you, and it just never happens. And even here today, we're so close, but we may just not cast him here either. Like,
Look, he just needs to beat Zest in 3 maps. That's it. That's all he needs to do.
He just gotta be Zest, mate. That's all you gotta do.
Yeah.
Like, man, anyone can be Zest. It's fine.
Ease mode.
Just do it, mate. Just do it, Forehead.
Just win, you know? Ain't that hard.
Oh my god. Meanwhile, we're still in this lower semifinals, and we're only in game 2, right? Game 1, sure, it went Cure's way, but I think what's important about game 1 is that it was very close. It was very back and forth. It wasn't one-sided by any means.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't. And that was a game where Creator, I should say, was a lot more active than I'm typically used to watching his PvTs.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely more of a player who likes to hang back, you know, get himself on a very stable 3-base economy, and then from there try to egg his Terran opponent into pushing the shield batteries and whatnot.
Yeah, it's great to see like how he approaches different players of different caliber, right? Like how his series versus special turned out compared to game 1 versus Cure, right? Where he was the aggressor. He felt pressured to make sure that Cure was uneasy and couldn't get into the game that he wanted to. Things are kind of changing up here. It's still a Twilight Council opening, and oh mate, that's a lot more gates.
That it is. Robo Facility still on the way.
Yep.
Creator, are you looking to do the same thing twice? Because you know what? I would be against it. Just tightens up a little bit, then he could snowball against Cure, but at the same time, Cure already warmed up a little against that Blink style.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it does seem like Creator wants to go for the same thing again, and I agree. I'm not opposed to it, right? Like a couple of things to tighten up, and it can go his way. Cure is going for a Widowmine drop, but this time a lot less committed. If you remember, game 1 he went for 4. This time he's only going for 2.
Yeah, not looking at too much damage done. Will be able to scout if he prioritizes getting the boost through. That's really important here.
There you go. As the Medevac is about to hit that natural base. Meanwhile, ooh, Creator getting a third so much sooner, and that is because he's continuing to tech up. He's not gonna stay on 2 bases.
Much quicker Templar archives this game, and again, it's just gonna be super important for Cure to be able to scout this. We'll see if he can. 1 blink already, taking out a lot of help in the Medevacs, but not quite able to get it. Cure will see the Templar archives and will borrow the second Widowmine.
Yeah.
Very nicely done here.
Exactly. Nice scouting information there by Cure. Now he knows exactly what he's up against. He knows that his opponent wants to transition into, I imagine, Charge Lot Archon. It'd be crazy if Creator goes for like Fast Storm or something like that.
You see it every now
my God.
and then. There we go. I was gonna say you see it every now and then because the common thing to do as a defensive Protoss player in PvT, you get your Robo Bay, you get Colossus out as quickly as you can, you get your shield batteries. Another way of doing it is getting very quick Storm, which is useful if you're... I'm trying to articulate this. It is useful getting early Storm if you're really worried about like Ravens or anything, but...
True.
It's definitely a lot less reliable this early on.
Exactly. As you said, like Storms are a way to get splash damage without it being disabled, right? But unfortunately, we don't see any Ravens from Cure. You know, he's just macroing up on Marine Tank essentially. We do see a third base on the way, and yeah, Creator cannot find a way into the main. He does spot that third CC though.
Yeah, and he knows that he can try to slow that down for as long as possible. Potentially even trying to slow it down the push.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Will be forced back to deal with the Raven.
Yeah, we did see a feedback a little bit too late. The Raven was able to throw down an auto turret, and this Raven actually survives. Can just chill here, gather that energy, and go in again. And yo, Cure is pushing out.
And he is. And I gotta be honest with you, Light, as a Terran player, I would much rather see those early High Templar than early Colossus, just because one volley from the tanks. As long as you target fire correctly, one volley is all it takes to completely wipe them out. They have such a long range, tanks do, compared to High Templar. I'll see if we can pull it off. Oh, 1 storm just landed, 2 storms. Medevacs have taken out. And that's the end of the High Templar, but they already got the damage done.
Yeah,
or have they?
Exactly, those storms are exactly what Creator needed, and the gateway units come in, and Creator is able to clean up the rest of this bio. Zealots come in just in time.
A bit of a Pyrrhic victory for Creator, but he is able to ride some momentum here. Cure just trying to lead the army on a wild goose chase so Creator doesn't just slam into that natural, really take out the SCVs.
Exactly, because here at home, what is there? There's no tanks, there's no Widowmines, there's a handful of bio units, so honestly Cure was very vulnerable to a counterattack, but Cure didn't go for it.
And he did not. Again, being very patient and very careful, as we've seen in all of his PvTs so far tonight.
Yeah, exactly. The other important thing is that 2 of the High Templar were actually killed as well in the defense. The other 2 were forced to turn into Archons, so these freshly made High Templar don't have that much energy within them. Meanwhile, we see a scan, doesn't see the army. Oh, okay. I thought Creator was going to move out. Never mind.
As did I, and I'm sure Creator wanted to as well, but he just wanted to be careful, just in case Cure decided to push into that base. Creator, he knows he's in the mind of Cure.
Yeah, oh my god, Creator, he sees everything. He leaps on forward, he shuts down those Widowmines. Oh my god, and in come the storms.
Oh. Decent enough splitting though from the side of Cure, is able to back away so many charge slots.
Yeah, and the Widowmine shots, like,
so well.
The Widowmines just aren't getting the shots they need. Like, they're not going off on the Zealots. The Zealots, like, they're just running over everything that Cure has.
Yeah, the lack of concussive shells is actually really hurting Cure right now. not really able to kite away from these zealots as much as he'd like to. Try to find a way to get us around on top of this army. The High Templar are still in the Warp Prism, and they do get some very juicy storms. Every single SCV is going down. Cure's gonna have to tap out.
Yeah, there's nothing left here for Cure. Again, there are a couple of Widowmines do borrow, but wow, only one shot goes off. It is not going to be enough. The natural goes down. GG gets called.
Creator is going to be able to tie up that series sideways, 1-1.
Wow. GG. Oh god, it just goes to show that like Cure, that first push, that was a pretty committed push, right? Especially because that's where the tanks were and he never remade them, right? Like that was the backbone of his army.
Yeah, and I mean, I kind of get it, right? You're up against Charged Archon, you don't want to overproduce tanks, but it's still nice to have a couple for the defense. Like, generally, you want to prioritize your bio and your Widow Mines, right? Up against Charged Archon, but that's when you're pushing out.
Yeah, and unfortunately, speaking of, like, he was in the middle of pushing out, and his army got caught, and his Widow Mines died before they got any shots off. Like, that was just really unfortunate there.
Aye. That it was. But now, we're going into game number 3. Not quite the ace match, but instead the king match, if you want to call it that. I do, because it's before the ace, because they're tied up, right? But it's not the ace match because it's not one map to go, right? It's 2 maps at the very least for 1 player, so that's what we call it king match here in that best of 5. Of course, if it's the best of 7, then this would be the queen match, but we're in the best of 5, so you know. And the top right-hand corner map, spawning all the way in the top right-hand corner, the red Protoss player coming down for the land of Korea. He is going to be representing Team NV, and he is really looking to prevent that PVT finals from going on as he scouts his opponent. He is Creator.
And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Oxide LE, as well as right outside the natural, currently unscouted, by the way, we have, the South Korean Terran representing Dragon Phoenix Gaming, DPG. It is a Cure. That was the correct.
The probe was right there.
Yeah, but the probe is blind, mate. The probe doesn't have real eyes.
Ay.
I love that response. You're like, what? Oh my god, Creator doesn't see, he doesn't know.
No, he sees the SUV, but what does he know?
Oh boy, thankfully it's not like a crazy committed proxy. The factory is still at home, but yeah, just the balls on Creator to go for this, mate.
Yeah. This Reaper is looking to dip in. Creator is being as annoying as possible with his probe. He knows that the factory is being produced back at home, so it doesn't have too much to worry about in comparison.
Yeah, Reaper does show up. There's a Zealot, but mate, it's a Zealot, and it's gonna have a hard time keeping up with this Reaper as he's looking to try and get some kills. Boys are forced off the line, but they do not get us around, and it looks like 1 probe will go down.
At the very least, we're gonna get another. Oh, but it was a trap. There's that's around 3 probes do go down, which isn't bad for a Reaper, but yeah, that's just a massive load off of Creator's shoulders.
Exactly. Meanwhile, this probe in the main is still alive, and Creator is able to scout the follow-up. He confirms that a natural's on the way. He confirms that it is not a 1 base all-in.
And he knows there's gonna be starport coming out, so yeah, resting a little easier. He does have the map control for the time being with his adept.
Yep, and that is why the CC is on the high ground, not the low ground. Otherwise, Cure would not be able to hold onto it. Meanwhile, the Rax is slowly floating back home, and yeah, things are going to stabilize from here.
Yeah, getting into much more of a normal game, or as normal as TvP can be. As Creator's searching things up for the first time, going for the Stargate. Twilight Council.
Yeah, we'll see if this is just for a couple of oracles, or if he's going to, there we go, he's committing to the Phoenixes.
Nice. I feel like Creator has realize if I shut down the tanks, I shut down everything. What's good at shutting down tanks? Phoenix's mate.
Yeah, problem is that there aren't any tanks.
Well, not yet, but Kier's eventually gonna want him.
Yeah, as we have a Widowmine drop coming across the map, and again, Widowmines, they're ideal against this sort of thing, right? They do well. You were talking about it earlier. They do well against Zealots. Oh my god, this is even more committed because we have an armory behind this.
I love it, because there's no robo facility this time.
Yeah.
Creator can try to get an Oracle out, but what's an Oracle gonna do? He needs to take out this medevac with its Phoenixes before they can drop the load.
I just don't think that's gonna happen, mate. In comes the medevac. It is boosting on in. The Phoenixes respond, but mate, the Widowmines are going to drop.
Angle. They are. A couple of them burrow. Will any of them get lifted? Finally, a couple of them will be lifted.
Yeah, the armory's actually not done.
Fire there. It isn't. Creator?
Oh no.
I don't think he has enough energy.
Just barely he does, and these Widowmines are gonna get taken. Oh, okay, the armory just finished. Ooh.
I think he thinks he killed it. I think he thinks he killed it, and more Widowmines are on the way.
No, Creator, please.
Make it as juicy as possible. Make it as juicy as possible. I can see it so clearly. Oof. 6 probes. Immediate GG. Because Creator has no detection. That's what happens when you decide to switch things up. Cure takes it to the... He's now a match point.
I took off my headset.
Beautiful. I love it.
GG.
Or at least I do.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it looked like it was a little bit mistimed, and I'm like, oh, Cure, are you going to lose all your Widowmines before before the armory finishes up? Like,
It was perfectly timed in order to give Creator a false sense of security.
Exactly. Exactly.
That's what it was. Losing those 6 probes, instant tap out.
Yeah, 100%, mate. Like, there was no Oracle on the way. What's scary is that there were 4 more Widowmines coming across the map. They were in the middle of the map, in that medevac, zooming across. GG. Just like that.
And just like that, Cure only needs un momento, por favor, in order to take it. He just needs this one more, whatchamacallit. But will he get it? Well, we'll see. As in the bottom right-hand corner map, starting all the way in the bottom right-hand corner of Lightshade LE, we have the red Protoss player looking to prevent that from happening. He is looking very clean in PvT, at least in the PvTs where, you know, he can get something going. He is going to be representing Team NV from the land of Korea. He is Creator.
And spawning in the top left-hand corner of Lightshade LE, we have the South Korean Terran. He is blue, representing Dragon Phoenix Gaming, DPG. It is Cure.
Oh boy.
Oh boy, indeed. Creator, he's up against the wall. That was a very cheeky win there by Cure. And now, mate, no more mistakes. That was a feels, for me, that was a feels bad, man, for Creator. It's like, he thought that he was safe.
For me, that was a feels amazing for Cure.
Yeah. Like, everything went right for Cure.
What can I say? I love Widowmine drops.
Oh, God. Yeah, unfortunately, Creator, he didn't really know what was happening until it was time to tap out.
What happened? Yeah.
But now, here we are. We are in game number 4 here. Hopefully, Creator is able to kind of shake that loss off and get into game 4, right? Like, he is more than capable of taking it to Cure, as long as his emotional state is okay, as long as that didn't like tilt him in any way, you know.
Yeah, going out in that way, it's definitely can be very, very painful. And Creator has been known for being pretty hard on himself in the past. It's like, that seems so obvious. How could I miss that?
Yeah. Oof. Aye. But we'll see what happens here. We'll see if he tries to go Stargate again. It's a bit of a shame, but like, again, like the Stargate play, he just hasn't really been able to get into it. If that is something that he wants to do, but no, never mind. Goes to the Twilight.
All reliable here. And Blink Stalkers are just, in my mind, a lot more versatile than the Phoenix opening, especially if you're pairing it with that rogue facility. You can be aggressive with Warp Prism, you can be defensive with an Observer.
And yo, I just realized something.
Yes.
I just realized this is the first time we're casting a game today on Lightshade and there's no proxy.
Huh.
Every
Get
single
on
series.
Yeah.
Every single series, whether it was with Raza and Naxin or special afterwards, like, yeah, even special versus
Raza,
creator.
Special in creator.
Yeah.
Huh. I guess Cura's not bored of Lightshade yet. The same way Naxin and Special are.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. So far, he's doing a really good job of just keeping Cure honest at home. You know, Hellion is going to slip across the map, try and get a bit of a scat off. But again, nothing crazy is going on here. We don't have that gateway explosion we've seen in the past. I'm curious to see if Creator is going to try and go Storm again, or if he's going to do something more standard and go Colossus.
Yeah, Colossus is definitely going to be a lot more reliable here, but I mean, the Storm game worked out really well. Well, it worked out really well for Creator because he wanted to be a lot more active, right?
Yeah.
Because 2,000 atmospheres allows you to be that much more active. Lightshade, sure, it's a shorter rush distance diagonally, but vertically, still quite a bit of ground to cover.
Mm-hmm.
Creator might be looking to be a little more safe.
Yeah, I would imagine so, just because of how the series has progressed and how if he loses one more game, he's out of the tournament, right? That his run is over. So I wouldn't blame him for being a little bit more safe. And there we go. Robo does get thrown down, not a Templar Archives.
It's about what we like to see. Another Winter Mine drop coming down from... Oh, he wants to get damage this time.
Oh, God, the probes are coming back. Okay.
Oh, no!
Oh my God!
Or at least I do.
Exactly, nicely done there by Cure. He was able to just get a little bit more damage done. You know, otherwise it would have just been 2 probes, but instead he gets 4.
And the medevac still stays alive, so he can go in for a follow-up scout. Especially important with that early forge. That is charge. Immediately research after Blink finished.
Mm-hmm.
Oh boy.
Yeah. He wants to get into those charges. He wants that +1 charge. More gateways are being thrown down. Meanwhile, Creator, he's across the map. He does have Blink, but oh yeah, Cure, he's ready for the Blink Stalkers. In the main, at least.
Yeah, well, in natural as well. Just needs to siege up that tank. This is giving me some very heavy romanticide vibes, like.
Yeah, just a bit. We'll see if it's gonna turn out just like that game, as will the Adepts actually make it in. Oh my God, doesn't commit to the shade though.
Yeah, a little too unwilling, what with the tank and the bio.
That he is. Meanwhile, we have even more gateways being thrown down. That medevac scouts everything.
He knows exactly how aggressive Creator wants to be this game. And now he's just going to wait and reciprocate. I mean, he's going to have to be very careful of his tanks. Doesn't want that count reset. Oh, Observer. Don't want to walk into a Raven Marines.
Yeah, oh, that was an unfortunate Observer, to say the least. But again, he should be aware of the charge slots. That's why we do have a switch into these Widow Mines. Widow Mines are going to do so well against them, as long as they're in position, as long as they're borrowed. Again, we saw what happened on 2,000 atmospheres.
Indeed we did. Tanks are pretty much just here only to have some kind of a defensive line. Creator does go for his Temple Archives and will go for Storm before the Robo Bay.
Yeah. I like it. He's kind of piecing everything together. Problem is that this also gets scouted. This medevac is just, oh my! I did not expect a low health medevac like this to provide so much value.
I didn't expect I spoke too soon. I was gonna say I didn't expect a low health medevac like that to make it out, but yeah, it stopped to tie its shoelaces, and the Stalkers jumped right on top of that.
Yeah, bit unfortunate there. Meanwhile, the army doesn't get scouted. Cure is going across the map. We do have a little bit of harassment here, but it does get cleaned up. The Warp Prism is forced back home, and this 4th base, there's no way this finishes.
Not at all. The shield batteries whatsoever, and a very paltry bio force. Storm isn't even done. Very good feedbacks on that Raven, but not before it gets to disable on the Warp Prism.
They're stuck in there, but the shield mastery, the force fields do buy him a little bit more time, so now he can jump for those storms.
I'm liking that from Cure, trying to bait out the army of Creator a little bit. There's another Warp Prism across the map. How much supply are in these Warp Prisms?
The double Warp Prism play. Meanwhile, Creator, he's expanding towards the north. Like, he feels like he's perfectly fine here. Again, he just has to wait a little bit longer for another Warp in, another wave of units. Oh, he's diving in. Oof.
Decent Storm. And Cure is definitely distracted, dealing with the harass back at home. But here comes the drop. Cleaned out everything in his own main. Takes out that robo facility. I don't even think there's enough energy for Storm left. Trying to get a bit of surround here with the Zealots, and they will be able to clear out some of the tanks at least. Oh, those are some very juicy Storms, though.
Yeah, it looks like this drop will be cleaned up. Meanwhile, the Zealots cleaned up the tanks as well. And Creator will be able to hold on and defend.
At least this initial wave, as Cure sends more and more reinforcements in. Even more Marauders, even more Widow Mines. Again, no more High Templar. Or at least none of energy left for Storm.
Yeah, exactly. They need to buy a little bit more time, and the production is under threat here for Creator. He's pulling a couple of boys as well. Nice Storm. Is it going to be enough?
That was the last Storm. The Archons get taken out. Zealots start to be in a lot of trouble as the Widow Mines do not quite connect. Very important hot pickup right at the last second for Creator. But if you look at the army supply, if you look at the minimap, Cure's parade pushing at this point. Creator is struggling to even produce at home.
Yeah, he's struggling to hold on, but he is. I mean, the second Warp Prism shows up. Oh god, mate, what are you doing here? Get out of here.
If nothing else, it takes the damage. If nothing else.
Yeah, a bit of an all-army hockey there by Creator. Oh, can he hold on? A couple more Archons are on the way. There's some High Templar gathering Storm in the Warp Prism.
They are. Creator's just waiting for the opportunity to jump on top of this. Oh, a little too soon.
Oh, God.
Just before Storm finished up. No! High Templar do get completely taken out. GG's call. Cure takes that series 3-1. He will be your first finalist of ESL Open Cup Asia, meaning we will, in fact, get our TvP. Very nicely done here. I had a lot of hopes for Creator. I mean, I even said I thought this was going to go all the way to the ace match. Creator looked so clean against Special, and he made the first two games. Well, he made the first game look very, very close. He made the second game look dominant. Then we got into game 3, and from there, Cure kind of found his footing, and Creator was still stumbling a bit.
Yeah, that he was. I mean, he was almost defending, but the problem is that he was warping across the map with those Zealots, and we didn't really see them do too much, right? It seemed like Cure did have enough at home to defend against those Zealots that could have fared a little bit better at home defensively, right? We saw how close that battle was and how Creator just barely wasn't holding on. Oof. In the end, GG. Cure proving to us again why he has consistently made it to the finals time and time again.
Indeed, winning 4 ESL Open Cups, ESL Open Cup Asias in a row, I believe, making it to the finals of ESL Open Cup NA a bunch of times during that time as well. The last 2 weeks were a bit of an outlier for him, as he only made it to the semifinals once, but he is looking to turn that around here. He's absolutely looking to redeem himself as he goes up against either Zest or Hero in the grand finals.
Exactly. And we may as well set that up here. Zest versus Hero will be a PvP. They're currently mid-series, and I would ask you, Yaku, could you check out Pig's stream?
Zest is on match point.
Oh.
It's currently 2-1 in the favor of Zest, and yeah, one more map and Zest will take the entire thing. Otherwise, Hero will be able to take it to the ace match.
Oh boy, we'll see. If it does go to the ace match, then we will cover that series. Otherwise, we will just dive straight into that grand finals.
One game.
Yeah.
Yeah, you say we'll cover that series. We'll cover that one game.
Yeah.